Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Wall Street next week. Financial astrology for the successful investor. AMP trade analysis. http ntvforex.com. News ID D195A8 30 2023 42:10 p.m. 1. Why markets keep ignoring bad news? We do not believe it is largely because of discounting the future economy. 1. Fed liquidity is the major reason. Sometimes 2. COVID vaccine AMP treatment progress, or 3. US-China news, but mostly just because all goes can, especially H2 August. NBSP experience has taught us the dangers of fighting the Fed. NBSP hence, despite fundamentals wacky and both Astro AMP technical pointing to a down August, we made several to date losing positional bets. These realized and unrealized losses have been largely covered by counter-trend technical day trading. Whether we were just wrong or early, should be known this week and next. NBSP A donut T sell too soon versus A take some profits often. We are by nature more inclined to the latter approach. Market risk reward remains unfavorable into H1 September. We continue to bet. The question changes from NBSP A how high is up A NBSP to NBSP A how low and for how long. A being short also has its risks beyond simple short squeezing. Fiscal stimulus plans, vaccine data, US-China relations, AMP the elephant in the room, the US election. More than ever, money management is key. NBSP While we anticipate a faster recovery than in the past, it will not a supercharged V. We see NBSP A NBSPU or NBSP A skinny UA NBSP US economic recovery but stock markets not V, L, or U but NBSPW NBSP Q4 US GDP will highly depend on US election outcome. NBSP Our views given the economic damage of the COVID crisis, fundamentally, intermediate-term risk-reward favors the bear case. Hence, we are keeping our short bias until NBSP late NBSP summer. NBSP post-summer investments will be targeted for a post-COVID-19 world for a recovery rather than the same a quarantinia portfolio. NBSP traders should day trade or have very deep pockets. Elevated volatility NBSP after hard rallies or market drops, it is smart to book profits. Market bulls will generally remain comfortable as long as DJIA 28,000 AMP SPX 3400 intermediate support holds. Watch AAPL AMP TSLA NBSP. When these Nasdaq stars lose momentum, look out below. NBSP investors require a longer term horizon than normal. We are no longer holding but recommend selling or placing trailing profit stops for many stay-at-home COVID stocks e.g. PZZA that have been winners from this crisis. NBSP We will be planning a different strategy for the post-November US presidential election. Conservative investors may prefer water utilities, tips, or high-quality corporate bonds and dividend-paying stocks. NBSP Alternately, quality overvalued stocks such as Disney AMP Dollar General DG will maintain value on a relative basis long term. Precious metals will continue to shine. Aggressive investors will wait and watch to pounce on misunderstood wounded winners. At the right price AMP right times, the COVID NBSP crisis. NBSP represents NBSP danger NBSP AMP NBSP opportunity. NBSP investing We continue our recommendation for 100% protection into H1 September. NBSP trading Our approach is to enter early and exit early, medium risk with good profits nonetheless. For the next week or two, we plan to keep a short basis into H1 September. NBSP SPX risk NBSP 3600 NBSP Nasdaq risk 12,000 P1 trading target V1.8 NBSP SPX 3231 NAS 10,569 NBSP The following prices would be comfortable investing accumulation zones for us if when NBSP next seen late summer. NBSP DJIA 24,250 25,000 NBSP Nasdaq 8,500 8,850 SP 2,800 2,950 NBSP Commodity Trading Gold Fall Astronov Dis NBSP rebuy late summer current trading range $1,850 2050 Silver Astro is generally Positive NBSP $22 support $25.26 pivot R128 R230 copper 3 pivot 3.25 intermediate term target NBSP 2. NBSP. These A dividend aristocrata stocks have been raising their dividends for decades, and there have been no dividend cuts during the pandemic. We have a list of stocks to buy after a correction. If there is not one this coming week, or next, or before the November election, unlikely, then we will remain highly liquid. We continue to protect our H1 profits, and only selectively add stocks in our favorite sectors. NBSP favorite H2 2020 sectors: entertainment, NBSP mining, NBSP safety, AMP security, NBSP AMP, NBSP technology undervalued, AMP highly scalable. Short term we continue to downgrade technology into H1 September, e.g. NBSP Republicans, serious big tech, antitrust and or China issues. Intermediate term we are downgrading NBSP select, NBSP healthcare, NBSP lower cost better outcome due to potential future political risk. E.g. Trump signs orders to lower prescription drug prices. However, longer term, global heavyweights like J&J and PFE will be safe and profitable harbors. Stock selection is important. When possible, we prefer to recommend stocks sporting strong cash flows, sound balance sheets, AMP growing dividends. Choose your favorite stocks and patiently bid for them. 3. NBSP A gold remains attractively valued. A1 might even say cheap A in the context of historically low real interest rates. Nicholas Johnson, Portfolio Manager, NBSP Bond, AMP Devic Wealth Partners, NBSP HW. Sad but true. $1,900 technical support level for gold continues to hold NBSP despite being overvalued. NBSP having strong astro this fall anticipated by markets. Owning gold should well reward investors at 2020 year-end. Given newbie gold investors have little knowledge of the industry and many are accustomed to tech valuations, is there an upper limit to gold or silver pricing? Maybe not currently. NBSP gold is in an $1,850 to $2,100 trading range. Silver $22 resistance is now support with P330 next resistance level. NBSP. There are so many good buys in the precious metal space depending on your time frame and risk reward desires. NBSP here the trend is most definitely your friend. NBSP review WSNW and A fund luncheons, AMP conferences for many good ideas that should continue to be very profitable. Upcoming fall winter. Upcoming are September 11th Natural Resource AMP Entertainment Luncheon Symposium at the Princeton Club, Company presentations, Comstock Mining, Appreciated Media, AMP Tono Gold Resources. Note: if not permitted live, we will stream this live on the web and post it later on YouTube. NBSP copper previously was undervalued. NBSP largely as a pawn of the US-China trade spat, AMP Wuhan virus. Now intermediate and longer term it sports favorable fundamentals. Watch if when previous $3 resistance becomes support. NBSP gold fundamentally there was a short-term decrease in mine supply coupled with greatly increasing investor interest. Please note gold is under NBSP highly favorable astrological influences. Late NBSP Q3 AMP Q4. Longtime gold bugs are happy that more generalist investors are beginning to join the party. In addition, many major brokerage houses had $2,000 NBSP price targets into 2021. These views are already validated, and more, if when inflation fears resurface and or if with a falling US dollar. We believe gold, AMP, silver valuations will largely sport well above fair value in this year of the NBSP white metal NBSP RAT 2020. Just as they were undervalued for a long time, it can and is likely to be overvalued for a long time. While fundamentally gold is currently overvalued, in much of the fall AMP winter, the astro is very positive for gold. Hence NBSP we recommend a full and overweighted precious metals portfolio allocation. However, we advise precious metal investors to also pay attention to stock selection. Gold remains cheap geopolitical crisis insurance. For investors who NBSP cannot NBSP or NBSP will not NBSP buy the dollar US currency, as well as investors who wish to NBSP safely NBSP and NBSP cheaply NBSP hedge their US dollar exposure. NBSP only gold is as good as gold. NBSP once again some NBSP investors are hedging record equity prices by buying gold. NBSP. NBSP Ultra Low Global Bond Yields makes gold an attractive alternative risk mitigation hedge. Gold FV $1,661 Commodity FV 1,600 Currency FV 1,650 Inflation Metal FV 1,566 Crisis FV 1,828 Investors NBSP. We plan to stay long in NBSP H2 2020 NBSP with occasional hedging, selling, or profit taking before the fall. Note our current fair value for silver is $21. NBSP 4. NBSP. The obvious catalysts for a correction are not present, but the technical stretch of some of our indicators are a warning sign. A close watch should be kept on the US 30-year yield and any sign that US money supply is rolling over. Sean Darby, Global Head of Strategies, Jefferies HW. In other words, don't worry until the Fed slips. NBSP. The Fed policy makes it crystal clear that we should expect low interest rates for years. Truly safe investments. 1 yield much. Larry Luxembourg, Principal, Lexington Avenue Capital Management HW. Sad, but true. NBSP. By any metric, valuations are in nosebleed territory, but there is this entrenched view that the Fed has your back, that the polls are wrong and there will be a Trump sweep, and that a vaccine is coming this fall. These are hardened views in the marketplace. Theta S Wada S triggering this ongoing rally in risk equities. David Rosenberg, strategist, Rosenberg Research. HW. Those views are right, however, current market valuations are not IMHO. NBSP 5. NBSP. These super-rich investors just raised cash to record levels to hedge against the greatest period of unknown. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me/mt5.expert.advisors.